My name is Robert. I'm an electrical inspector, and I started this trade about 2006. And I was going to tell you some of my experience, some of my successes, some of my failures, and I guess generally what helped me out. And maybe you guys can learn from my mistakes or pick and choose what you think you want to do. And we'll wait for a couple of you guys to get in here. You can ask me anything code at any time. I've kind of got total recall when it comes to the code book. I know where things are located geographically in the code book, and can usually say things verbatim. So if you guys have any questions, just speak up, because there's not too much I don't know about the code. Like I said before, I'm an electrical inspector now. I've been an inspector for about 9 years. I worked for the same company for almost 10. In that company, I did 5 years of commercial, probably about 50-50, 4 years of commercial and 4 years of industrial, and did a year of infrared. So pretty well-rounded, I guess what you would say. Built hospitals, museums, basketball stadiums, churches, things like that. Done a bunch of underground. Let me get the chat set up here. All messages, there we go. So today, I was doing a trampoline park, and I was looking on the side of the building where they had the service, and they just got to restart the whole service, man. I see crazy stuff every day. So I used to be able to post, or I don't know if I could before, but I used to post things that I saw at work. Then I quickly got in trouble by another jealous inspector. Told HR that I was filming on site, and the way that I was filming was so up close. There was no names, addresses, company name, like nothing. There was nothing around, and they said, to stop filming. So understandable. We don't film on site anymore. Anything that you see is going to be sent to me, or something that I took from a different site. But yeah, that's pretty much how we got to where we're going. Tools is something that always kept me going in the field. So once I got to where I was at with electrical inspector, I was like, damn, man, I know a lot, and I don't like to speak highly of myself. I like to help people out, and but the fact is that I know a bunch about the trade, and for me not to share it with you guys, to try to promote this trade, to try to help people out, to help you guys prevent making mistakes, would be really greedy. So that's ultimately why I made the channel, is to help you guys out as electricians in the field, no matter what stage you're in. I can't say that I've seen it all, because I still see new stuff every day. But man, if you guys got any questions about a service, something you're trying to do, whatever it is, you should hit up the channel and post and ask questions all the time. Just pick a video, ask me a question. Hey, I'm running into this situation. Hey, I've got 4 inches coming into this box. What size box do I need? I've got an angle pull. Your angle pull multiplier is 6, so 4 times 6 is 24. But your 4-inch pipe is 4.5 inches diameter. So you got to be just as far away from those conduit entries as you are the box is big. So 4 times 6 being 24, that's still not big enough for the box, because your pipe is 5.5 inches. So you might need a 36-inch box to do what you got to do. There's so many different situations where the code looks like it's cut and dry, but then you start taking the actual trade sizes into account, kind of like a engineer telling you guys to install a 3.5-inch pipe in a 2x4 wall, right? That's barely doable. So I'm 32, been in transportation the last 10 years. Not like fulfilling good money, but I'd like to be out and about I can do basic electrical, but I've always wanted to get involved. Are you too old? Depends how rough you were with your body, man. I've seen 50-year-olds that are in better shape than me. I went through a very dramatic experience with mold exposure in my last house, and I will never be the same. But I can tell you, I was really rough in my body whenever I was in construction, and I did a number on it. So my whole mentality's changed. I used to be really rough on my coworkers, trying to motivate mostly, but also just to talk shit. Everyone talks shit. Not to be cocky, but you got to be confident. There's a level of confidence that you need to pursue, and also instill around you that you know what you're doing. Let's see here. Solemn Indonesia, second or third language. Nice. Yeah, I don't know, John. We're talking about tools, we're talking about electrical. What's up? What's up, Frank? What's going on? So there's a certain level of confidence that you want to get. I remember when I got my journeyman's license, and I didn't want to tell anybody, you know? And it's just one of those things. It's like, what's the point? You're not going to pay me anymore. So I hid it for a long time, and then eventually they found out. You're studying for your test next Saturday. What are you studying? Which one are you going to do? Heck, we could do a test right now. We could do some questions. You want to do some questions? Hang on. Do some questions right now. Electrical. J card, nice. Okay, what's on the test? I can tell you what's on the test because I remember everything, dude. So you're gonna get some Article 100s, right? And it's gonna talk about like the authority having jurisdiction. Still, yes, I know it's not even a wireman's test. It's gonna be about the authority having jurisdiction. It's gonna ask you about, dude. I could probably just go through my code book and just point to you like what's in the test. Heavy duty lamp holders. Look that up. Heavy duty lamp holders is gonna be on there. You're gonna have a bunch of questions like Romex. It's like, it's not really Romex, but it's all in the 334s. He already told you tools and how-tos. Yeah, no worries, I will. Sorry for ruining your stream, but honestly, hate the big beautiful. I want to talk about it. It's your choice. We can talk about how it's affecting solar and stuff maybe later, John. Just sub and we'll do it a different stream, man. I don't mind getting into what's good and bad. Not everyone's good, not everyone's bad. There's a little bit of everything for everybody. But we're not going to talk about it now. I would say that if you want solar, you better get it soon. But the common misconception is that your PPO bill, like your purchase power agreements for your solar, is not going to be affected. If you got a battery, it's not going to be affected. So, yeah, we're going to talk about solar in another stream too. Appreciate it, Denny. What's up, Denny? Yeah, so Article 100, dude, has a lot of things in there with working clearances, 180C tables, 310.15 or 16, depending on what code book you're in, 250.66, 250.122, 240.6, 110.26, Chapter 9, Table 8, conductor properties, your conduit sizes, your burial depths, 300.5, your clearances from buildings and heights and stuff. That's in 225 because that's outdoor branch circuits. You're going to be looking in your... There's a couple of motor stuff in there, dude, but skip that and go to the easy ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't stress out on the hard ones. Just guess real quick. Go to the next question. If you don't know it, go to the next question. I was done my journeyman's test in 45 minutes. How do you deal with anxiety dealing with Texas Utility Power Co. here in Pennsylvania? We have 3 major electric utilities and they all have different service rules. I got fed up dealing. So, yeah, there is, that is a thing. Luckily, I was working with mostly Encore for most of my career. So, Encore is the utility service provider out here. And when you consistently do good work, and you can help the Encore guys out. And like if you're the least of their worries, same thing when I'm an inspector, right? If I find a good contractor, I'm going to give them my city cell phone number and I'm going to be communicative with them. I like set pictures for certain things. It takes a little bit of load off me. It takes a little bit of stress off of them. And ultimately you get a better product. And then you still got a final inspection where I'm going to look at everything. But if there's a couple of questions he's got in between then, it's only going to make the inspection process easier for me in the long run. Also, I take my time on all my jobs. So I might show up to a job. I might spend an extra 30 minutes at that job, but that's 15 minutes less that I got to spend on a day that I'm busier. So if I'm not busy, I take my time, go through everything. It's just what I do. So definitely helps when you do a good job and then people give you a little bit more slack. I had a guy that handed me like 20 tags for meters. I was doing some apartment complex and I was like, dude, don't give me these because what's going to happen, right? I'm going to do a good job. I'm going to use all those tags, but then somehow, some way down the road, he's going to be missing some tags. And in the back of his mind, he's going to wonder, what did Robert do with my tags? You know, I don't even want to be put in that position. I don't let myself get put in that position. I don't put people in the position where something awkward could come up later. I yelled at my best friend. We were in a hospital. They had just laid down the flooring that was like rubberized. It was in the hospital rooms. So it's waterproof, but it's also like, it's not spongy, but it's laminate, I guess you would say. And they had put down ram board. Now, ram board is not masonite. Ram board is just paper. It's thicker paper, but it's not paper. And he was in there bending in one of the rooms, some conduit. And he was doing it right. He was on his boot and he was bending on his actual shoe. And I walked in there and I saw that and I said, dude, what are you doing to me, man? I said, what's going to happen if someone else comes in behind you and they damage the floor, but somebody saw an electrician in there bending pipe at one point? What's going to happen? You know, you guys got to think about the finishes. You got to think about the repercussions of your actions. Just because you're doing a good job doesn't mean someone else is going to come behind you and do a good job. And if you're in that position and the same spot that they could be in, you just got to eliminate all the possibilities out of it. That's part of taking a test, dude. Eliminate all the possibilities. Go through, cross-check, go through and look at all the 4 options, and you can cross-check what they provided you with options for answers to deduct what possibly can't be. You know, once you eliminate all the impossibilities, the only thing that's left is the possible. Take it to the hall. I took him out to the stairwell, because the stairwell, right? You're bending your pipe, and just like I told you guys about bending pipe yesterday, where you could overhang over the lift to bend, overhang over the stairs to bend. It's concrete out there. It's unfinished. Yeah. Yeah, but what the rings on Saturn, how'd they get there? What are they for? Nobody knows. Exactly, Maverick. Nobody knows. George Ordway might know, if anybody. He's probably seen them. Take it to the hall, yeah. Let's see here. NEC tables. So I'm not sure if we're going to play some video games or what we're going to do. I might do a members only and talk about the solar. We need to talk about the solar. I just closed on my refinance. So I just secured a 5.5, which is pretty good right now. So my interest is 5.5 on my house. We started this house at a 7.5. We refinanced 6 months ago, and we got it down to a 6.5. and now we're down to a 5.5. So yeah, we're throwing money away. Technically, we're just adding more to the loan and restarting it. I understand that, but in less than a year, we've gone down 2 whole points in interest, which is actually hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you play your cards right, also takes off about $400 a month. So I'd like to talk about some of the stuff where when I think before I was a journeyman, I had my own house. So I've had a house since before I was a journeyman. And that's the difference of not going to college and just grinding for what you want to do. I was talking to a buddy the other day, I think it was Tools with Souls. You got lots of anxiety? Yeah, I do have lots of anxiety. There's no freaking doubt about that, dude. I got a lot going on. I stay grinding, and I stay alert on all the situations. So always thinking about the possibilities. But this is my third house. And the last house that we bought, I didn't even let my wife see it when we bought it, man. She'd never even seen the inside. I was like, yo, we just got to get it. And we got it for such a good price that even full disclosure with the mold, dude, we still sold it for almost triple what we paid for it. So we're able to get out of there. I knew like there's no way we could go upside down in this house. So I knew it was a good deal. But damn, dude, I don't know if I'd trade it. With how sick I got, I don't know if I'd trade it. I would have just stayed where I was at. My mortgage, my first house was $650 for the mortgage. And I would have already had it paid off. I actually bought that house without selling my other house, and then I had 2 houses for a little bit. Then I sold the other house, and then I threw like $100,000 and re-amortized the loan. So we were at $1,800 a month, and then I threw a good chunk of change towards the other one. So I could have just paid off the other house. I should have just stayed where I was at. Yours was 49, but you dropped $40K on it. Okay, so you're paying about $176 a month. That's pretty good. Am I right? Is that how much you're paying? You dropped your PMI. So you dropped your PMI, you still got taxes, you still got insurance. You're probably paying, correct, I'm on it, dude. I know these numbers. That's one of my strong suits, is kind of guessing what numbers should be. And it works like that, dude. You become an out of the box thinker whenever you do electrical. You're looking at all the different possibilities. And a lot of that has to do with your upbringing on the culture and what you had available for even just games. You know, there was a game that I used to play all the time, Warcraft, and you build towers. And if you could have your income higher than the opponent, you pretty much won. It didn't matter how strong your defenses were. If your income was more, you were going to win. So it was like a strategy thing, and just trying to guess the next numbers and stuff. I like numbers as well. Yeah, my dad was electrician, and I'm an electrician, and I love numbers. Yeah. Mine, dude, I didn't like numbers, okay? I left Bermuda. I'm from Bermuda. I left Bermuda, and I came down here for school. And the deal was that I could go to college, and they would pay for my gas and my car, and you could say that I was gifted a little bit. And as long as I went to school, I was pretty much covered. I was 17. I don't know. Started college when I was really young. And I started going to school. I wanted to be an electrician. I wanted to be an electrician ever since I can remember. And a lot of people, the trades is not plan A. It's usually like the backup of the backup of the backup plan. You know what I mean? Yo, what's up, Big Josh? So usually trades is not number one, but this is number one for me. So I knew I wanted to be an electrician. And I remember my dad was a carpenter by trade, but he had a construction company, I guess you would say. And they do all kinds of stuff, all kinds of remodels, flooring, knocking out walls, plumbing, tile, everything. And I would help him. And by help, I mean I would watch him work. I would help him hold stuff. I get to shoot the nail gun every once in a while. What's up, Sayer? I would hand him stuff on the other side of the planer. He would pass boards through the jointer to me, and I would stack them. I never touched the table saws around him. I'd watch him do the radial arm saws, you know, all that stuff. That's what he had. He had the whole setup. And the one thing that he never really did when it came to tying everything in, he'd pull his own wire, he'd run the Smurf tube. Trying to give me a super chat, but YouTube is being YouTube. That sounds about right. But you watched. Yeah, exactly. And that brings up another thing, dude. Anytime I ever wanted to learn something, if I didn't know it, I would pay someone to do it and I would watch. My first computer that I ever built was I went to a Fry's Electronics and I bought all the components and I took them up to the desk, the guy that was checking me out because they get commission and stuff. And I said, dude, I'll give you $1,000 if you come to my house and we build this computer together. And that's what he did. I paid him $1,000 cash. And he came to the house and he showed me how to put the motherboard in and put the thermal paste and put the heatsink in and where the plugs all went and what size video card and what size power supply and how to do all that. And then we overclocked for fun. And it was my first computer, but after that I knew how to do my own computers. And the same thing with my brakes. My neighbor he called himself a shady tree mechanic, but it wasn't very long before he had all the SAE certs. And he was restoring a couple of different cars in his driveway. And then he got a job pretty quickly. And I would pay him to come over and we'd do the brakes and the spark plugs and all that stuff. And I was able to watch and learn and all that stuff because I didn't have a dad. I didn't really have a mom really either. My wife's parents were kind of my parents, but that wasn't like they didn't live with me. So I had my grandma with me, but that's just different, you know. And then when she got sick, my mom passed away and she got sick, I kidnapped my grandma and told her, you know, you're coming to live with me. So we took care of her towards the end. We kind of took care of each other, you know, and that was pretty cool. Have you heard about the EVIT requirements to Texas to take it? EVIT. No, I've taken some NICETs before. National NICET, Industry Competency, Electrical Competency, NICET. Industry Competency, it's for electrical testing like infrared and stuff like that. I don't know what the EVIT is. Or EV1T. Let's see here. Did you see your short? No, I didn't see your short, man. I haven't been on YouTube really all day. Yeah. Yeah, in Bermuda, dude, it won't let you give me a super chat. Dang. No worries. Appreciate you being here, buddy. So, it making me nervous about the status of my channel. I've been cussing a lot. Let me see. Let's make sure we're still monetized up in this bitch. Let me see here. Oh yeah, no, we're still good. Made a short of your breaker box and what you need help with. Okay, well let's look at that. Let's go to Sayer's channel. Let's see here, Sayer. Not very many Sayers. Should be easy to find. Tools of Big Josh. What the fuck is for me to do a $20 super chat? I won't let you do two $4. So you're good for the week then? Dude, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the support, man. Thank you. That's great. What the heck, sir? Are you turning into a hedgehog, man? What is going on? What is going on, sir? Okay, where's your panel? Hang on, let's go to his videos. Oh, it's a short. He said short. Oh, good God. What the hell is that, Sayer? My computer's going to melt just watching this. Is that an extension cord and a plug strip? Oh, here we go. Why is it smoking already? We just started and it's already smoking.
Tactics.
Oh, God. He name dropped me like I'm associated with this. All right.
Tactics. My favorite Sparky. Let's see, this is what I've got. I've got 4 inverters.
Okay, we got 4 inverters. We got 3,000. So, okay.
These 2 down here double up to create 220.
Okay.
110, 110. And they're also set up so they run 220. Yes, these units can actually do that. You can piggyback them to run 220 off a 220 rate. But this is what I got. Okay, these 4 inverters.
Jesus, Sayer.
Anyways, this is what I got. Okay, and this is the nightmare that it's all wired to.
Oh my God. Okay, what do we got?
Now there's the 220.
Oh, dude, you can't do that. Jeez, we're gonna do the bus. Oh my God.
Two inverters that come in.
220.
Become 220 out to my 220 outlet. And yeah, so this is the setup that I got. But I want to clean it up, streamline it, update it a little bit, make it look cleaner and more professional. And what I need from you is some help by thinking of small boxes that, because it's only going to be one 20 amp, 130 amp
per inverter. I just get single fuses. Just get fuses at this point. You want something that's going to blow that's going to blow quick. I would just do fuses at that point, individual fuse boxes for each drop off. That way you get overcurrent protection immediately. Wow. Hey, electrical is pretty resilient. You guys stop and think about how resilient freaking electrical is. It's pretty damn forgiving when you think of it. What is this? Forgot about ice cream. Yo, appreciate that, Sayer. Hand tools big, Josh. Man, we got a... I appreciate that. All right, let's see here.
And then my available 220, which is somewhere in here. Somewhere in here. Oh, there it is. There it is.
See here.
But cleaning it up, so I need small boxes or boxes.
There's no volume. Yeah, I'm trying not to turn the volume up. You guys, it's got the subtitles. YouTube complains when you write fuses. That's safer. Did you like how I just touched the breaker? No fear. Yeah, no fear breakers. He's getting 220 out of inverters. Okay.
Box that I can wire 4 inverters independently, and then those 2 wire them up so that way they run 110, 110, and also 220 when I need it. So some food for thought for you there, Tactics. Give it a thought, and then maybe someday we'll have a live stream and you can give me a list of everything that I'm going to need. Remember,
here it is.
I'm off-grid. I'm not the richest man in the world. It doesn't have to be premium products. So let's try to be a little bit budget conscious and friendly on this.
There you go.
So that way it's not going to break my bank. Because remember, I'm an old man on a pension. So, but anyways, yes, I want to try to clean this up, make it look less like a fire hazard and more like it was done by someone that knew what they were doing. But give her some thought. You know what we're working with, And maybe someday we'll do a live stream where you help me walk through it and set it all up and tear it all down and make it pretty. And it should be a good learning experience. But just so you know what I'm looking for.
Okay, so what? Whoa. All right. All right, so those, Jesus, hang on. He's got IC, what are those? Those are IC 3000s. And you've got terminations there. But you ran cord. Okay, so real quick, let's look at the cord.
So this video is from my good friend Tactics, Tools and Tactics.
3,000 watts, okay? So we got 3,000 watts coming off. So if we divide 3,000 by 120, let me go down here to, let me get a calculator. 3,000 by 120, 25. Okay, first off, you probably can't use extension cords safely, right? So 25, okay? If we look at the code book for wire, you really can't even use Romex. Let's go to, holy crap, that's loud. 310 dot, it's 15 or 16. They keep changing my damn codes. Okay, so you're kind of like cord, right? You need at least number 10 Romex, and that's what I would do. I would get number 10 Romex at a minimum. Definitely get number 10 Romex. Because if you're fully loaded, and you are, because you got solar panels that's dumping into your panels, technically you should be fully loaded at that rate. Funny, YouTube kept repeating the live chat as if I was spamming. Yeah, what's up?
Can they see me?
No, they can't see you. Are you naked?
No.
You want to be?
With you a little bit.
Ooh. Had time to review my post. Important to know how to turn off your iPhone mic. Here's a link to discuss. Nice, nice. Okay, so I would say, first off, your inverters are bidirectional, right? You're going to be dumping solar to charge them, or you got batteries, and then you're dumping that into a common bus, I think is what you're doing. So if we look at, let's see here. NEC, curing insomnia since 2025. Jeremy's not naked, just bottomless. He's Donald Ducking it. You have 50,000 watts of solar. You know that one solar panel can draw enough arc to melt silver, right? Like one DC 100-watt solar panel can draw an arc hot enough to melt some of the hardest stuff to melt. You got 50,000 watts of solar. That's pretty impressive, actually. That is pretty impressive. Let's see here. How hot can a DC solar MC4 connector arc? It'll figure it out. Okay, that's not that hot. Hang on, we want to look for the we want to look at the arc. I don't want to hit someone else's YouTube. But I do want to show you so first off, right, when you're talking about MC4s, there's no such thing as compatible MC4. Either it's MC4 or it's not. So your standard MC4s don't actually plug into these connectors that look like MC4s. And what you wind up is like a square peg with a round hole. So it'll hold until it doesn't. And that's important to know, especially when you're doing your own solar here. This looks like a there's a that's TikTok. Screw TikTok. We'll steal it. Okay, so what he's got 247 watts. There you go. There you go. That's DC right there. So what's he got there? Let's see what he has. He has 400 volts DC off of 8 400-watt bifacial solar panels. Okay, so he's got a little bit more than 100 watts. But you can see Sayer's got 50,000 watts of solar. And what happens here is that when we look at the square peg and the round hole, what you wind up with is this here, where this is your connector here, and then this is what you're plugging into. Try to gauge this. Hang on. Close. That was even closer. There. That's what you're plugging in right now. So the gaps that you're not actually making on these non-true Chinese MC4 connectors is substantial for the continuity. And that's basically what you're dealing with, is that you are getting connection with your connector, but you're not getting a full connection. This is proven, and I don't want to out myself on where I learned this to locate me, but I've had classes with the guy that pretty much designed and engineered the whole solar industry. So when you look at your panels like this, if this is a panel and this is a panel and this is a panel and that's a panel, and we have a bunch of them, and we have positive here and negative and positive and negative and positive here and negative. Just like in DC, we're going to run these, we're going to loop them, right? So we're going to go in there and then out there and then in there, then out there. This one right here, this run right there, when you have a connector right here, this one has all of the amperage on that one cable because you got all your solar panels coming back. So this here has a full load of that array. This is the one that catches the buildings on fire, just so you know. So just keep that in mind. If the one you're going to cheat on, don't let it be this one. This is all the solar fires that you see. It's usually this guy right here. Okay. Let's see here. So you've got, what do you have? Let me check the chat now. 50 and 100 watts each. Nice. 50 and 200. You can mobile DC. Your solar panel is set up to 96 volts. Wow. Converted the controller back to 12 volt, 20 amp, really fast charge time. Nice. The big ass battery cable, yes. All right, George, I'll check that out. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that, with the fast charging. What's up, LFO? 6-stage. Okay, so yeah, we don't even want to know what type of batteries. I don't even want to know. What we do want to know is what these are. These are Go Power 3000 watt. So let's look that up. Oh, they're actually nice. Wow, wow. Okay, let's see. Yeah, he had the IC series. Okay, so that's your AC out. There's your DC in. I'd recommend you use this. Go into here with Romex because you're going to be AC. And you need to hit overcurrent protection out here as soon as possible. Now, is this 240 out or is this... Let's see here. Yes, it's 240 out. So 250 amp legs. This is what you have? Oh yeah, 120 out. Hang on. See, that's where it gets sketchy. Okay, 120. That's a 12 volt to 12. No. You can run both of them at 120. Yeah, inverter, generator, protect your investment in food. Good point. What's up, Jonathan? Your solar provides power for me and my family of 3 all year round. Only in the winter do I have to run my generator, and I only on a blue moon. Nice. Lost power at 1 p.m. Pacific time zone. It just came on literally 10:15 p.m. Dang, dude. Sorry to hear that. Look at the fast charge forklift chargers. Okay. Okay, we're caught up. We're caught up. What's up, Spike and Flash? What's going on? And Depth? What's going on? Okay. We gotta look. We're gonna look for Sayer's inverter here. Well, let's just see what he's got again. Okay. Avert your eyes, chat. Yeah, Hulk Hogan died, man. That sucks.
My favorite Sparky. Well, see, this is what
I see. Okay, so that is your 120 out right there. So you got some rules when dumping into a panel, okay, that we need to be really careful of. And I want to look at this panel here. This panel here, Sayer, you're going to have to answer me here. What the F? Is this what you're feeding your house with? These two here? And then the rest is dumped in for solar? We got, hang on. Yeah, that's the end of that. So, okay. That's one inverter. This one panel is one inverter? Oh, up here is one inverter. How are you getting power out? Like, what's your, you running a couple of branch circuits off of this, so you get a little bit of A little bit of solar coming in, a little bit of branch coming out. Is that what you got? Both the big wires are inverters to the panel. And that's all your branch circuits to feed your house? That's what that is? How did you combine the inverters though? Like that's what's pissing me off. Oh no. Oh no, I think I found it.
You can give me a list of everything that I'm gonna need. But remember, I'm off grid, not.
Hang on, we need to know how did you combine it. That's the concern, right? Right off the inverter, you need the overcurrent protection, like immediately. There's your watt stopper. Hang on. Okay. Where? Oh, okay. There's a DC. I see a DC something. No solar panel, just inverter to panel, and everything else are outlets. What's up, Jamie? What's going on? Jamie's just in time to watch his computer melt from the content on my screen. Oh, okay. So we got some switches. Okay, we got some DC fuses. I like that.
Down here, double up to create 220.
They double up to create 220. We got that.
110, 110. And they're also set up so they run 220. Yes, these units can actually do that. You can piggyback them to run 220 off a 220 breaker. But this is what I got. Okay, these 4 inverters.
Okay, there's your charge controllers, right? That's your charge controllers. Dude, a P-touch goes a long way on this because about 6 months later, you're not going to know what all this is. We're moving the camera really fast.
This is what I've got. Okay.
Okay. What is? Okay, that's that. Okay, what is that one, Sayer? The big breaker I touch is the 220.
Is the nightmare that it's all wired to. Now there's the 220 break.
Okay, that's an inverter in? Or is that
with the two inverters that come in.
2 inverters come in?
And then it becomes 220 out to my 220 outlet.
That's your 220 outlet, okay. And okay, that's like Romex, so that's like number 8 or number 6. I can see the black there. That's number 8 or number 6. Yeah, I get that. I'm wondering. Yeah, that's probably okay. That's an okay size. So I'm wondering, where does your inverters tie in? Your inverters feed this panel up here, correct?
And
because you jumpered 2 inverters together, then you jumper 2 more together, you intertwine them into your solar, and then you got 1 leg of inverter here at 120, you got another leg of inverter here at 120, tied your neutrals together, so you're just dumping straight power into here. That's a 100 amp breaker. I think.
yeah, so this is the setup that I got, but I want to clean it up, streamline it, update it a little bit, make it look cleaner, more professional. But what I
Okay, first off, hang on.
need for me to do some help thinking of small boxes because it's only going to be 1 20 amp and 1 30 amp.
Okay, we got that. What is that one, Sayer? Up there. What is that? Up there. See, I see this wire. I'm trying to follow this wire.
Inverter, and then my big old 220, which is somewhere in here. Somewhere around here. Oh, there it is, right there. 220 right there. but cleaning it up. So I need small boxes or a box that I can
That one is the upper go power.
wire 4 inverters independently, and then those 2 wire them up so that way they run 110, 110, and also 220 when I need it.
Okay, so what do all these breakers do? That just feeds your house, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single poles, 7, 8, 9 single poles, right? That's just feeding your house lights, plugs, things like that. So receptacles, yes, okay. Small panel left is the blue inverter, the right one is the upper go power, and the bug panel is the 2 lower go powers. Yeah, but I wonder where these wires come from. They got to come from another box.
So some food for thought for you there, Tactics.
Food for thought.
Give it a thought, and then maybe someday we'll have a live stream.
Okay. Oh, that feeds. That's not 1901. Yeah. Let me see here.
You can give me a list of everything that I'm going to need, but remember, I'm off grid. I'm not the richest man in the world. It doesn't have to be pre. 2 down here goes with Tactics, my favorite Sparky. Well,
Okay, let's try this again.
see, this is what I've got. I've got 4 inverters. These 2 down here double up to create 220.
Okay, I got that. So we got one giant leg coming out of that.
They're 110, 110, and then they're also set up so they run 220. And yes, these units can actually do that. You can piggyback them.
I'm just trying to figure out how they tie together.
220 off a 220 breaker. But this is what I got. Okay, these 4 inverters. All my batteries, all my solar trackers.
What's up, Juan? What's going on?
Look at all them solar trackers. Anyways.
Yeah, you gotta pan slower for sure.
Got, okay, and this is
okay. Is that where the generators? Is that where the inverters tie in? I want to know what that box does. This is where the inverters go, and then you ran one wire ass box to your panel.
That it's all wired to. Now there's the 220 breaker, the two inverters
There's the 2 inverters
come in.
that come in, but you said you have 4 inverters, so why is there only 2 inverters that come in? That's where I'm lost. All right, so panel. $100 amp breaker here. And we have the lugs here. Neutrals up here. We'll just draw that gray. This will be dark gray. Let's see here. This was fun. You'll make it into the video. So in here, you said you had 2 inverters. Do you have 4 inverters really, or do you only have 2 inverters there? Or do you have a stack of inverters? Do you have 2 inverters that went like this? So you really have 4 inverters. And did you jumper 2 together like this, and then run 1 here like this, and do that? Is that what you did? That's what we need to know. Because if that's what you did, you need to put disconnects right here with fuses for whatever size this wire is. Then you can leave these disconnects and then hit this. Pass. See what he says. That's bigger wire. Yeah. I think he's making a video right now and then loading it up. He's not answering. He's making a video right now. I bet you he's making a video right now. Nice picture, Bob Ross. Yeah. I think that's what he's got, right? He needs disconnects here. Is what he needs. We'll find out what he's got. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this while we're waiting. Oh, wait. No, there's a test. All right, let's do a master. Let's do a journeyman electrician practice exam. That's what we'll do, and we'll do. We're not going to do 30 minutes. Don't worry. Okay. We already know that that's going to be. For some reason I want to put 4, but I think it's 3 hours or more. I think it's 3. 3 hours or more is continuous. Flames 12, no telling what Flames 12 said. We're waiting for Sayer to respond. Let's see here. Let me see here. Somebody was going to do the journeyman's test. Frank. Is Frank still here? Frank the Great. You studying? I think it's 3 hours or more. I'm not going to blank on that. I think it's 3 hours or more. Where you go 3? Is he going to tell me? Oh, that's not cool. Okay, at the time of installation, ground neutral conductors larger than number 6 may identify as terminations by number 6. If it's ground, you larger than 6. Yeah, exactly. You can only do this if it's larger than 6. I thought it was a trick question for a second. You can put white tape on it, that's fine. Where a 2-box contains 2 single pole switches, unless the box is equipped with blank. Install various volts between the switches shown to be in excess of. Ooh, that is a good question. I think it's 300. We're gonna go 300 volts. When conduits enter a floor standing switchboard at the bottom of the conduits, including their end fittings, shall not rise more than 8 inches, 4 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches. I think it's 4 inches. I think it's 4 inches. We're gonna go 4 inches. We're in a rush here. We're not gonna look up anything. We're just going for it. What happened to Charlton? What are you doing, Juan? What just happened with Charlton? What just happened to Charlton? That was okay. I don't know what's going on. One. Okay, onto button. You have cable, direct burial residential, 120 volts. The conductor is GSI protected and overcurrent protection is rated at 20 amps. Cables do not cross any driveways or concretes. So if we're in residential, we can go 12 inches with GFCI protection. Direct burial. I think. I know you can do it with pipe. I don't know about UF cable specifically. I know we can do it in pipe at 12 inches. We're going to go with 12 inches just in case. The ambient temperature, number 8, a single copper conductor, FEPB, installed in free air. What will the ampacity be? We're not doing calculations, but I would guess, I'm going to guess 55. When the grounding ring consists of number 2 bare copper encircling a building, buried 36 inches in direct contact with the earth. The minimum length of the wire permitted is for the grounding electrode for this ring. The minimum length. These are really good questions, guys. These are like really good questions. It makes me want to go get my code book. It makes me want to go get my code book. But also, we're waiting for Sayer to come back and tell me he's made a new video uploading, how it all works, explaining the inverters. I knew it. I knew Sayer was uploading a video. Let me go get my code book. Let's go. Where is my code book? My code book's missing pages, so you have to bear with me. Here's GFCI specifically, 120 volt, 12 inches. But we're looking for, this is with GFCI. So now we're going to look for 1 or 2 family driveways, under streets, under minimum concrete, under a building. So this is the GFCI code here. And it said it wasn't underneath the street. Oh, here it is here. In a raceway. In a raceway. All locations not specified. I think it's 12. I think we got it right. Let's look at the ground ring, which is in 250.60 something. Let's see here. Common grounds, individual grounds, smaller than 6. My dog is loud. Ground ring. Shall be installed less than 30 inches below the surface. I knew that, but where's the other requirements for it? Because it said the minimum length. Sorry, this thing's locked sideways. The minimum length is got an electroconductor. Continuous. Huh. We gotta find a ground ring, I guess. Types, method, size. Jumpers. Pipe. Ground ring. Size of the conductor. Where is it? Does not extend to other types of electrodes. Okay. 250.52A. Maybe. Maybe that one. Or okay, 250.52. Turn it lighter. Oh wait, 52. Where did it go? Ground ring, 30 inches. We did that. And then we had 52A3. Are we in the 23? Okay, we're on the 23. Like I said, that's a good question because I have not run into that. We're going to go all the way back. Okay. Electrodes, ground ring, 20 feet. There it is there, 20 feet. Consisting of at least 20 feet. That's interesting. Good, learn something every day. I like that. I like that specifically. That is cool that I learned something new tonight. It's hard for me to learn something new, so this is really cool. Now they asked us about a free air conductor earlier, and it was number 8 on a free air. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to this page here with free air, and it talked about a weird insulation. I don't remember exactly which one it is, but we guessed, oh look, damn, it's 80 amps. Look at that. So we can go get this question right as well. Yeah, the top messages and the all messages does suck. You sure is right. Why they do that, I don't know. It should show messages always. So one answer is 80, and one answer is 20, and then the 300.5 was 12, I think. Let me see. I don't really remember what the question was. This is GFCI here, 20 amps. And it says it was not underneath the street. So it wasn't 12, right? This is what I do. You eliminate what the possibilities are, and then you're only left with the possibilities. I think it's 12. Let's go. Let's just bring it in here. How do we go back? Ooh, we can't go back. We can't go back. What kind of test can we go back on? We got 3 questions wrong. We can't go back. That is crap. Oh, nice. Nice. That's 80. Okay, perfect. We did it. This is test.com, by the way. It's pretty good. Boo. I figured it out. Change the chat to live. I did. It's all live chat. It's all messages. Here, I'll pull up the chat right here on this screen. Let me get let me go to my channel here. Content. Yo, we are knocking on lots of subscribers there. Awesome, guys. Appreciate all the support. Okay. Content. Live. Why are these upcoming? I need to delete those. Those shouldn't be upcoming. Control room. Drop that right there. Yeah, it should be live. Forget all the time, like you don't discriminate skin color one. Just yellow. Okay. Just saying for all the people in the chat. Yes. Thank you, Jonathan. That's a good point there. Okay. We should go back to Sayer's channel and see if that's loaded now. See if he's got a potato for internet, or is he ready? Okay, let's go back here. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, tactics. This wire here is one go power, okay? This one here is one go power. This one here is another go power. There are two inverters. This is a dual bus. There are two buses. This panel has dual bus. As you can see, it's a split bus.
It's yeah, it's just one leg of 120, one leg of 120. It's fine.
So we got 220 coming into this side.
Right.
We got 120 on this side. We
Right.
got 120 on this side.
Okay. Got it.
And there's one terminal, one terminal. That's one inverter, another inverter. This box is one inverter on its own.
And how does it feed in?
And this box is one inverter
Oh God. Ah, I see.
on its own. But all these wires run outside. These are the outlets that it's running. 30 amps and 20 amps. Okay. But to break it down for you a little bit faster,
That's how you got your 240 with some two different inverters. Okay, I see.
this is one inverter. This is all one inverter on its own. The inverter runs directly.
Gotcha. So my concern is there's no overcurrent protection on that. And some other things. We definitely have some more concerns, but that's one of them.
This one runs to this outlet and this outlet.
Right, I got it.
Okay. This here is two inverters on one panel, a split panel.
Yeah,
Okay, and these are coming directly from the inverters.
got that.
Inverter one, inverter two. And that runs all the auxiliary outlets, all these outlets here,
Jeez.
and the 220 outlet here.
Yes.
This here is another.
Oh yeah, dude, that was a good frame right there. Finally got some good light. Let's see.
They're separate inverter. This is the blue inverter. This one's the
Okay, so we're just running right into that sucker, dude.
blue inverter.
Okay, so I see your grounds and neutrals are isolated. Do your inverters have overcurrent protection coming out or not? If you made an edit of a car, would you watch it? I think so. I don't see why not. I like Mustangs, man. I got a 2015 S550. 2015 S550. Premium. That's what I got. I suppose I could do a GT. Mustang. Yep. What's up, Russ? What's going on? Okay. Yeah, he says they do have overcurrent protection on the inverter. So grounds and neutrals are bonded in the inverter is the question, because you need your grounds and neutrals bonded on the inverter. And then you're isolating here.
And this one, the inverter power comes in right directly to it. So this is one inverter, two inverters, one inverter.
Right.
And this is one inverter in,
Got it.
one inverter in. So we got two inverters.
Russ, your computer's or whatever you're watching on, your device is going to melt if you watch this.
Both of these
You've been warned.
both of these sets of wires run directly from each inverter into a split bus.
Okay. Well, it's not really a split bus, but that's fine.
This is a 220
Yep.
40 amp.
That goes to the
It
receptacle.
splits the bus. This is a 220. It splits the bus, but
It takes a leg. It's fine. It's fine.
I
It's
only
fine.
have it on the 40 amp. Okay, this one here jumps two buses.
So when we look at legs of a transformer, if this is our transformer, right, this is essentially what's happening. When we look on the pole and we see those poles, we have one leg of 120. This is why it's single phase, right? One leg of 120, and we have another leg of 120. And the middle point gets split by the neutral right here. So when we go from leg to leg, that's how we get our 240. So if we look here on our panel here, we have one leg coming in, of 120. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to overshoot that. My code book's falling. And we have another leg of 120, right? And then we have the bus that comes down here. And we have 120 on one leg, we have 120 on another leg, and we've got our neutral, which jumps down here. Now, what's really important at the first means of our disconnect is to bond our grounds and neutrals together. So we bond with the bonding screw to bond our case. And then our ground bar also should have a jumper. This is terrible, by the way, but same theory. Has a jumper that goes over to the neutral. This is only on the first means of disconnect. If we don't do this on the first means of disconnect, we create parallel paths, okay? So what we have now is our grounds and neutrals are bonded at the source. And we could draw the neutral here for fun. We can draw it in blue. And that's going to feed there like that, right? And basically what's going to happen, I'm going to draw this in yellow so you guys can see. When we have a receptacle over here, and let's say we have conduit or whatever, and it's feeding this plug. This is a plug. It's a terrible plug, but it's a plug. And the hot makes contact with the side of the box. What winds up happening is we get the current gets on the ground, okay? Now the current, it's not enough to trip the breaker because 25 ohms to ground in the earth does not trip a 20 amp breaker. It's only about 7 amps. Oh, nice, nice. Appreciate it. We'll watch the edit in a second. So what happens is the current is trying to get back to the source. Well, the source is the neutral. So what's going to happen is the current is going to go through the ground system, and it's going to go through the neutral. And it's going to go all the way to utility powers transformer. And it goes through the windings of the transformer, and it comes back on the hot through here, and it gets to that breaker that it originated at, and it sends all that fault current, that available fault current gets put into that breaker to trip that breaker within 7 cycles. So we got 60 cycles in a second. We're going to trip that breaker in 7 cycles. The longer that it takes to trip that breaker, the more available fault current we have. If we don't trip a breaker in 7 cycles, the fault current goes from 7,000 amps to 25,000 pretty quickly. So we need to be able to trip that breaker as effectively as possible. That's why you want your grounds and neutrals bonded at the source. If they're not grounded and bonded at the source, you cannot trip a breaker on a ground fault. So that's why I'm asking all these questions, because he either needs to bond in his inverter or he needs to bond in his disconnects, and I don't know which one he's got. Pretty important stuff there. Okay, let's continue the video.
You got to remember, these are all staggered. On the old square D, they're staggered.
They're all staggered. That's fine.
So that's the thing, is I can't put a breaker there to get power. That one feeds onto this side. This is one bank, two bank. Instead of having the 220 going to both sides, I actually have like 120 coming in and splitting both sides.
Yeah, you did good there. That's how you want to do it.
220 splitting both sides. I got 120 and 120 on each bank. Okay, so I hope this makes a little bit more sense. But that's one inverter there. That's the second inverter. This is a separate inverter, and that's a separate inverter. This and this has nothing to do with this. This is the blue inverter. This one. Yeah,
so he's completely off grid. What we're used to seeing is main service conductors coming in that goes to a meter, and there'd be no room to land these wires into this breaker. But in this case, he's dumping directly into this breaker, probably with the wrong amperage, which is why I'd recommend that you size your overcurrent protection for the size of these wires.
This is the blue inverter.
Now this here, I can see that's isolated. That is isolated. It looks like it's isolated.
The blue inverter, this is the top.
That's also isolated.
Power runs right from the inverter to it. Power right from the inverter from that one. There you go. Okay, tactics. This wire here is 1 go power.
Yeah, if you had held it still and just like that and left it nice and flared out, that'd have been good. Meter. What's that? Yeah. That's funny. Sayer's completely off grid, man. Sayer's a boss. All right, so. Okay, so these wires here. You know what size wires those are, Sayer? Time to watch your edit. It is. Let's go check out his edit. Let's go see. Sorry. I was trying to get this whole thing in frame. Nice. Nice. Appreciate it. Nice edit. Okay. Got more edits. Nice. You're on 10.3 extension cords. Okay, so extension cords. Okay, so extension cords is, you know, an interesting way to do that, to say the least. We need to see, let's see here, hang on a second. Checking something here. Okay. Get this back over here. All right, we're back. Industrial made for rotors 220 volts, but only 3 wire. Yeah. Can I make some educational content on this? Not really. We probably need to go back to the other one, honestly. Let me see here. This one.
So this video.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, let's look at that. I appreciate it, Jeffrey. Okay, so the inverters have overcurrent protection on them, like 120 volt. Say, you don't want to know how much all the solar costs, but you paid for itself mostly, thank God. Yeah. We'll see you later, Jeffrey. Appreciate it. So your inverter's got to have overcurrent protection. Okay. Yes, they do. What overcurrent protection do they have coming on the extension cords that are number 10? What's up, Derby man? What's going on? So your grounds and neutrals isolate inside this panel. Where are your grounds at? I don't even see grounds in this panel. So okay, yeah, you probably need some disconnects, man. You probably need some disconnects for just to protect your equipment, even if you don't. So if this is your inverter here, we won't even draw the DC. We'll just draw your inverter. and your inverter. And one of them goes here like this. One of them goes here. Like that. And you got your neutral. You need to draw. So if I was to draw you one line, what would that look like? It would look like this. We'd have a 100 amp. We wouldn't have a 100 amp. We'd have inverters first. What would we do? We'll do 2 inverters. Panel. Disconnect. It's not going to be exactly the right size. Okay, so okay. Disconnect fuse at 30 amps. This is so terrible. Number 10 extension cord. I can't believe I'm writing that. Number 10 cord. I'd like to grab it, please. Let me have it. Let me have it. I want it. Let me grab it. There we go. You son of a bitch. It won't let me grab it. Come on. Let me have it. Sometimes I hate. There. Haha, it's messing with me now. Right there. There we go. Number 10 cord, disconnects fused. Okay, and then you're coming in here. Call that B phase, even though it's really single phase, we're just gonna call it A and B for simplicity here. Man, paint is not what it used to be. Paint used to be my go-to. And now they tried to make it like everything else. God almighty. Also build solar, tracker, towers, custom, and build water, septic systems, and houses. Nice, nice. Maybe a bigger piece of paper. I got it so late, I won't ask any questions. You can ask whatever you want. You can ask anything you want, Russ. We're looking at Sayers off-grid solar. And we're drawing a one-line diagram right now with number 10 extension cord. And it's beautiful. I can't grab that B, and it's actually like getting old. There we go. Okay, and then you've got a 240 volt plug and you got a 120 volt plug is what you're trying to do, basically. $120 at 20 amps there. Is that a house or a business? Sayer's house. Sayer's off grid. That's his power right there. I think the mountain lion that he has roams around wired it up with him. Ordered a touchscreen instead of the whiteboard. That'd be cool.
That way it's not going to break my bank. Because remember, I'm an old man on a pension.
Okay, so my next concern is your grounds, man. Your grounds. Okay, so we got some. What the flip is that? Hang on.
You can give me a list of every.
Okay, so we got. I see your ground bar there. This is what I would do. This is what I would do, buddy. You're going to have to bond inside these disconnects. You're going to bond inside these disconnects. And even if we create a short parallel path on the shortest little distance of cord, it's worth it because you need to bond. At this point, a parallel path is the least of our worries. And you want to attach this, you want to take an electrode to a ground rod. Yeah, you want to bond that like yesterday. And then, let's see here. What else do you want to do? Yep, you do have a ground. So you have a ground, you have a neutral, you have one hot. One hot, two grounds. Okay, what are we looking at here? Yeah. That's what I would do. And then you're going to isolate here. Isolate grounds and neutrals here. Okay. And I heard SO cord being mentioned, and I got scared for Sayer. It's not even SO cord, buddy. I think it's extension cord. But now that I'm looking at it, it is SO cord. So, probably better than extension cord, honestly. No, you should be fine with what you have. You should be fine with what you have. Your problem is that you're double lugging your neutral. You could land one neutral here and one neutral here. You don't need to double lug your neutrals there. And then, really, you know, for off grid, it's not terrible because you've got some overcurrent protection. Your problem right now, though, is that this wire will burn before this 100 amp breaker trips. That's your biggest problem. So, yeah, that's basically your your one line diagram there. Remove background. See, why doesn't it have a way that I can grab it? Actually, really right there. There we go. Okay, so you got your inverters. You got your disconnects. You got your main panel. Where are all the bus bars for the breakers to mount that panel? We're not going to draw them for simplicity because that's just going to be branch circuits. So we're just drawing what we need to see for this thing at this point. Now I noticed you had a 40 amp breaker. Is that a 30 amp receptacle? Oh no, dude, Square D is still like top. Square D is still good. I don't know what Canada's got going on, but Square D is very popular here. You definitely want to get some 30 amp disconnects here. Those are cheap. Or motor case breakers, whatever you want to do. Get some overcurrent protection here. 30 amp 220 and 6 120s, 130 amp 120 on that panel. Okay, so when we look at our rules for receptacles here, what you're going to see where are we? 210? Yeah, 210. So 30 amp circuit rating goes on a 30 amp receptacle only, okay? So we can't put a 40 amp breaker on your 30 amp receptacle. You see that? Now, I know it's funny that we're looking in the code book after looking at what you got here, but at the end of the day, you want to switch this breaker out.
Everything that I'm going to need, 20 amp and 130 amp. Now there's the 220 break.
See, that's a 40 right there.
Sure.
So this here has to be 30. So your breaker's got to be 30 amps here. Yeah, you got to free. That's okay. You still got to make it safer. So for your, we're doing 30 amp here. Right there, that's going to be a 20 amp all day. All right. And do you have any copper, or are you just going to do ground rods? You need ground rods for your grounding. So you're going to bond and attach electrodes to these disconnects when you come off your inverters. You could, but really once you it's really just a switch. Once you have overcurrent protection here, that 100 is really just a switch. So you may as well just leave it at 100. Because you're gonna be fully protected on your wire there. And all you're gonna be doing is protecting your bus. But the 100's not gonna hurt because let me think about that. You could do a 50. The problem is that these breakers are pretty specific to bolting in.
Two inverter,
See how that breaker bolts in?
and then it becomes 20 out to my 220 outlet. And yeah,
I don't think you're going to find a 50 that bolts in like that. What should you buy for the overloads? Just disconnects with fuses. Like this. Here, I'll show you something that I wired up in the dark. I don't show many people this. I've shown this before and everyone made fun of it, but I'm right there with you, dude. When it's dark and the government isn't providing you power for 3 days and your grandma is asking for so many blankets that she can almost not breathe anymore, you tend to get creative in the dark. So I'm going to show you something that I have not shown anybody. I don't think anyone here has ever seen this. So we're going to go to my channel. Where are the bus bars? Yeah. Okay, so this is actually my first video, by the way. But this is one of my first videos. This is me trying to find the polarity because I cut an extension cord. You love how you can tell the age of electrician, yeah. So we're going to look at, ooh, where is it? Hang on a second. These are like my first videos, guys. We're looking for off-grid. Hey, I contacted Melif, and they're going to send me another one. It's actually, I've already got it. I'm going to do another review of this. We're looking at Sayers Solar, dude. Sayers off-grid solar. And I'm looking for my off-grid solar that I wired in the dark. Let's see here. I don't know where it is. Which might be a good thing. Oldest. Look at that. Look at that. 3 years ago with Souls. Damn, we were both healthy too. Look at that. We both looked good. Let's see here. I had better thumbnails back then than I do now. I don't know where my solar is. Oh, look, now you can see where I started dying. Now you can see where I was really dying. Ah, look how skinny I was. Yeah, I've got a closet, dude, that I threw a bunch of batteries in. It was like, it snowed for like a week in Texas and we had no power. And I wired some crap up that we shouldn't even talk about. But I'm trying to find you the disconnect. I can't find it. Let's do this. Let's do off-grid. Nope, that's not it. Is this my channel? Is that searching my channel? How do I search my channel? I want to search my channel. Title. Just for grid. Grid. What to do when no power. Oh, this is what we did the other year. This is when we started pulling circuits out of my panel. Oh look, I found it. I found it. Get you one of these, Sayer. There. Look at my isolator. Perfect. Look at that. Just jam some wood in there, dude. Fuel for the fire.
Install a general 26 kilowatt backup generator.
There's our isolator. Perfect.
Hang on.
Okay, so we got a wood isolator.
Inverter handle.
Right, so.
Okay. So you can't see this because we didn't have internet, so we had no Wi-Fi. This is the disconnect that you want with the fuse. So you got a fuse there. So we got SO cord connections. Number 10 extension cord, just like you. We got one fuse here. You get your disconnect there. And then this is what you want. Just get you a disconnect like this, Sayer. It's hard to see because I know it's fuzzy.
So we're running 20 amp wire on a cord. We're probably pushing maybe 16 amp max on a 20 amp cord. But we're protected with a 10 amp fuse here.
See, I put a 10 amp fuse in there for good measure. But that's ultimately what you want. So when we look at your one line diagram, that's what I would do. This right here is actually bugging me a little bit. We're gonna make that a little bit cleaner. There you go. Okay, I know you're talking about a firecracker, single blow fuse like we put on the factory machines. Yeah, exactly. So these will be your fuse disconnects there. Got your number 10 cord. I'm not a fan of the number 10 cord, but because it's SO, it's probably okay. Yeah, Soldier's right. You're going to have a surge protector. You definitely want a surge protector with this setup. And that's where these grounds are going to come into a huge play. Like, the grounds are going to help you out a bunch. Actually, the surge protector and the grounds go in tandem. So there's no point in having grounds if you don't have a surge, or there's no point in having a surge protector if you don't have the grounds. So when we look at Sayer's, let's look at Sayer's setup here. Okay, here's Sayer's setup, guys.
So this video is for my friend Tactics, Tools with Tactics, my favorite Sparky. Well, let's see, this is what I've got. I've got 4 inverters.
What's up, Nicole? All right, avert your eyes. Your phone will literally melt when you see this wiring, but it's okay. It's off grid, and it's in Canada, so it can't hurt us.
These two down here double up to create 220. They're 110, 110. Then they're also set up so they run 220. And yes, these units can
What's up, DC?
actually do that. You can piggyback them to run 220 off a 220 breaker. But this is what I got. Okay, these
3 copper rods 10 feet in the ground, as your inverters had to be grounded, and the same with your batteries. So your battery case needs to be grounded. Your battery shouldn't be grounded. Your batteries are positive and negative. Negative is not a ground, unless you've connected the negative to your chassis, and then I suppose it is, but you really don't have to do that. You really want your grounds to be the path that the current's going to go. Corporate office NSD, gas lamp. You want to tie your grounds to your first means of your AC disconnect as well, which is in those disconnects that we're talking about.
batteries, all the solar trackers. Look at all them solar trackers. Anyways, this is what I've got, okay? And this is the nightmare that it's all wired to. Now there's the 220 breaker, the two inverters that come in, and then it becomes 220 out to my 220 outlet. And yes, this is the setup that I got, but I want to clean it up, streamline it, update it a little bit, make it look cleaner, more professional. But what I need from you is some help on thinking of small boxes that, because it's only going to be one 20 amp and one 30 amp per inverter. And then my big old 220, which is somewhere in here. Somewhere around here. Oh, there it is. There's my 220 right there. But cleaning it up, so I need small boxes or a box that I can wire up 4 inverters independently, and then those 2 wire them up so that way they run 110.
Start to GoFundMe. Help me live another day and find my Sparky Inspector friend from Texas, Canada. Help me.
110 and also 220 when I need it. So some food for thought for you there, Tactics.
That's awesome.
Give it a thought.
DC should be grounded. That's why vehicles should have a ground strip from most broken off, but actually extends the life of the battery by grounding the chassis to the road. Yeah, off-grid nightmare right now.
And then maybe someday we'll have a live stream.
Okay, so that was his first view. Then he's got this one.
Okay, Tactics. This wire here is 1 go power, okay? This one here is 1 go power. This one here is another go power. There are 2 inverters. This is a dual bus. There are 2 buses. This panel has dual bus. As you can see, it's a split bus. So we got 220 coming into these are the outlets that it's running. 30 amps and 20 amps from each inverter into a split bus. This is a 220 40 amp. It splits the bus. This
Okay.
is a 220.
Okay, I have seen enough. The one line is complete. That's what you want. 1 inverter, number 10 cord, hit your disconnects as soon as possible. Bond your grounds and neutrals, bond all that to the ground rod, bond your grounds and neutrals all together. All the neutrals, all the grounds in here. There should only be 2. Isolate grounds and neutrals in here completely. Land on either side of your panel like this, off your inverters basically. 20 volt 20 amp receptacle for your 120 volt plug, 30 amp receptacle for your 30 amp 240, and that right there is going to help you out a bunch. Yeah, so hopefully that helps you out. That's an interesting one. I have 4 inverters powering 3 breaker panels. Yeah. So put a disconnect for each one of those. So on your other inverter, you're going to have another panel, and you're going to bond inside that other panel. So on your other one, you're going to go. Let me move this over here. Shit. Okay. And on your other one, you're going to go inverter, disconnect, panel, because your panel is main lug only. There you go, number 10. That's your disconnect there. Those are your disconnects there. We'll just put blue for the inverter. Why not? The gray for the disconnect. And then this is an MLO panel, because you don't have any breakers in there, so it's main lug only. That's what that means. And then you're going to have number 10 here. There you go. Can we focus on tools and tactics? Yes, we can. Sometimes YouTube just does that. This is the way we've done it for years. Chat is one train, the video is another. We change for no one. But if you ever have a 440 crane lift or high rise, not at you, the chat. Sorry. Okay. Let's see here. Leave the alternating California. And the only AC I have is residential. Let's see, DC is better. Dude, you guys got to see what they're proposing for my house. I need to do the members only for this, what they're proposing for my house, because it's pretty cool. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me go to my Gmail. Let me see here. Okay, Sayer, take one look at that. The chat always goes off the rails, yeah. Okay, so that's your one line there, Sayer. That's what you're gonna do for your individual small panels. There. Okay. Let's do. Actually, I should probably just save this. Save as crazy Canadian one line. On the desktop. Just like that. Save. Perfect. Yeah, we got off on the weeds on that, but he donated like 20 bucks, so off in the weeds we go. I don't know what to tell you, man. He pay to play, I suppose. He had a question, we answered it. How do we go from being broken hearted and sleeping on the roof? What happened to Apache? Troll saying my dad died, or ate my neighbor's poop, a free ditty. Yeah, of course. Yeah, not enough people engaged to keep the chat alive. If we only went this route to follow him at times, the chat always goes off the rails. How many amps coming off this array? He's probably got a total of at least 100. He's usually got 100 amps. Okay, let's do this. Let's see if we can pull up my Gmail. Now, I think, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to have it. Let me see here. Attached is closing information. No, I already did that. Okay, hang on. How do I get to my... Let's go back one. Atmos Energy. Project, here it is here, but this is actually wrong. Nope, that's Encore Solar. Hang on. I'm on the button. Hang on, I'm going to email myself something. Hold up, 5. Okay, sorry about that. We're back. Okay, what do we miss here? Let me email myself something. You're crazy? Yeah. Unbreak your heart. I missed a bunch. But I broke the window with your ladder. 5 kW is pretty good. On the battery side, each bank is okay. Depends on if we use conventional flow. Well, good luck to you in that. Okay, we're back. So let's go to my email. I sent it to my YouTube email. See here. Okay. Did it not get sent to my email? We might just need to be more prepared to show you that. Damn. Hang on 2 seconds. Hang on 2 seconds. 2 seconds. All right, we're back. I was sooner. I was faster. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to email myself a, there it is there. Okay, so first off, I got to make sure that we don't have yeah, so we need to download this and then get my address off of it. Okay, we need to open this with Paint. How do we do that? Open with. So we're getting okay, we are getting we're getting a Tesla gateway, Powerwall 3, 60 Eaton, combiner box, in phase, and then we're getting 18 solar panels. So what they're doing, they got the power wall. We got the disconnect. We got the 60 off of the power wall. We got the 20 for the communication. And then we've got our combiner where we're dumping our solar in. Now, typically, what they'll do, they'll take this solar and they'll dump it directly into this power wall because the power wall is itself an inverter. But instead of dumping the DC from these panels into my Powerwall 3, they're putting microinverters on my panels. And then they're dumping it into a combiner. And then it's AC. And then I got bidirectional AC flowing out of the inverter of my battery. So this leaves me a lot of options to tie into my house for the future. I can tie into this. I can tie into here into DC. I can do a lot of different things with this system. And they're fixing to actually install a 200 amp load center right off of the gateway. So the gateway will be the main overcurrent protection. And then out of the feed through lugs out of the gateway, they're going to hit a 200 amp panel. Your Tesla limits at 32 amp and your breaker never trips. Nice. That one line looks clean. Yeah, these guys know what they're doing. How many hours of sleep do I get? I don't know. Usually I can't go to sleep until about 2 o'clock. So sometimes I just lay in bed waiting to go to sleep. Give a cell tower glass batteries low cost. Yeah, the glass mat are low cost, but you can only go like 70%, if that, of the battery. You can't discharge it that much. Melatonin is your friend. It's your friend too. Maybe. Maybe that's what we do. Whatever happened to our tests that we were taking? Oh, it paused for us. Nice. It paused for us. Look at that. All right, lay-in type luminaires and suspended ceilings. Shall be attached to the ceiling members by bolts, screws, rivets, or clips. I think that's the answer. I'd actually like to see the code reference for that. We're not doing this question. I said we're not doing this question. What's the number 120 volt 20 amp general line circuits required in a Delling having calculated load 900? We're not doing this question either. But if we looked here, I would guess 4. The surface energy conductors of a building or structures supply multiple loads. What is the smallest copper conductors permitted as an overhead service drop? I think it's number 6. Loaded question. Yeah. I get better than just stare at the ceiling for an hour or two. Yeah, it's a good plan. Electrical service drop should be 10 feet. We're just trying to get to this test. I don't even know how many questions. Oh, we got 80 questions. I don't think we're going to make it, boys. General motor disconnecting means must disconnect. The motor disconnecting means should only have to disconnect the motor. Yes. Inverse time circuit breaker, 20 horsepower, 480, 3-phase, so 1.732 times 746 times 20, 7 to 1400, 14,000, about 480. I'm going to guess 35. Under which conditions would run electrical metallic tubing with the compression fittings require wire type equipment grounding conductor be installed in the EMT with the circuit conductor's EMT installed. It's definitely on a roof. Yeah, so there's an exception there for the roof supply. You know, I shouldn't have put 80 questions on this thing. We're gonna stop the test. How do we? Let's just finish and score. Let's see how we did. Okay, so we installed 11 of 80 correctly. We stopped at question. Let's go see. Let's see here, 14%. What did we get wrong? Okay, we guessed on that next. We guessed on that next. It's probably number 8. Yep, it's number 8. We guessed on that next. We're going to learn something here. What is this one? Both the motor and the controller? Nice. We just guessed on that. Is it 2 or 3? It's 3. It's 3. Why did I not remember it's 3? Damn it. We guessed on that. That's number 8. Yep. Okay. So we only got like 2 wrong so far. I just can't do 80 questions right now. Let's see here. In case someone's interested, Outback sells a complete plug-and-play off-grid system that makes it very easy. Lithium-ion batteries, diagrams, and how to hook them up, and wire guide depending on how big the array is. Yeah. Yep. The batteries I have can be 50%, up to 2,000 cycles, but only in the winter. Did we ever come close to that? The organ test has lots of nonsense info that doesn't apply. Throw you off, yeah. Appreciate it, Rick. All right, so we got to get off of here. We ended the test early. We'll probably be on tomorrow at some point, and then we'll do. At some point, I got to drive a ground rod, and I've got to do my own panel. I have 3 banks and 1 reserve, 1 kW per bank. 4 banks. Yeah, dude, just be careful with those batteries, man. Mixing Outback and Midnight. Yeah, I know them both. Pizza is round, comes in a square box, but sliced in triangles. we got to get off of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow or something. You bet he's clipping around 60. I've actually got to drop this video. This one here. Maybe got a sneak peek. Look what we got, Josh. We got them both. We got them both. We got the 9 and the 8-inch. It's coming out tomorrow. So We just got to pick a thumbnail. I'm going to call it Game Changer. I'm going to put Game Changer and then put the pliers in the front. What do you guys think? Like this. Ready? Like this. Hang on, we're not going. Oh my goodness. Maybe this one. Get rid of, oh, we want that. Let's get all that. Let's see what this looks like. We're gonna do Game Changer. Game Changer. Uh-oh. Okay, we're gonna do like blue. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. We're gonna make that red orange though. We forgot the R. Oh, it's down there. Damn it. Oh, there you go. There you go. Now we're gonna go to Amazon and find them. What is it? J2159CR. That didn't work. We gotta do Klein. Multipliers. Okay, and then you gotta go here. And then we're gonna go there. Right now, these things have a $13 coupon, by the way. So they are decent. We'll say decent. Now, I don't like this image because I want them to be more open. Just like Panthers X. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. There you go. There you go, Josh. There's your thumbnail. Game changer. We did it. We did it, guys. 99%. Oh shit, you're right. We do got to do that. Hang on. Let's see here. What's it gonna do? It's thinking. Oh, no, that's not good. Oh, nice. All right, move game changer over a little bit. There we go. Let's make it pop. This might not work. There you go. Hell yeah. There we go. Oh, that's not right. Control C, Control V. Let's go black. We're gonna put it in the background. Just go like super black, really dark. There we go. Like that. I like it. I kind of want them to be more open. Is that what we should do, Josh? It's pretty funny. I'm gonna do it. Do I put my big stupid face in there? Hang on. Let's see. Hang on. We gotta. What is this gonna do? I don't think it's gonna work how I think it's gonna work. We'll see. Uh-oh, why did that get deleted? We'll find out. That didn't work. It's got potential. Let's see. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Do you guys like it? The big stupid face does hide the game changer. Just put it right there. Hang on. Can't hide the game changer. Okay, hang on. This looks like a troll face. I like it. Let's do it. This is not going to work, guys. It's not going to work. Oh, hang on. That might work. Does that work or not? There you go. He's a better looking guy. Oh, okay, hang on. Oh, damn, we got a hot chick. Shit. No. That's better. What just happened? Canvas sucks for things like this. We need AI. We need AI to do it. This one. Perfect. No, I think that's good. Let's keep it simple. We definitely got to keep the 99% people on know, though. Yeah, we're 100% leaving that in. 100% leaving that in. I gotta find the, what did I call it? It's Klein something. I gotta learn to name my videos what I actually want to call them. Did I call them multipliers? That'd be stupid. No, I didn't. We called it, what the hell did we call it? I don't even know what it's called. Let's see. Climb best 111. Yeah, that's real original. There we go. Sure, for now. Should we go tools electricians use most, or what tools do electricians use most? What do we call it? What? Good job. What's in my tool pouch? We'll leave that there for now. Now look at the game changer. Unlisted. There we go. This is how fast my internet is. In case you're wondering, this is a 30-minute video. %99 of electricians don't know that this tool. What's up, B Sing? I mean, if you want a good AI phone now, they write a prompt in ChatGPT and then say they're an expert YouTube consultant, and your client tool is introducing a new pair of pliers that promises. Yeah, I guess I could. I could do that. Most of your prompts are about 300 words. I don't like AI. Okay. Maybe we'll release this around 10 o'clock tomorrow. What's up, JD? Whoa. Get a lot out of your prompts. I'd have to download ChatGPT and do all that. Klein takes on Knipex. I don't think it. I didn't compare it to Knipex. I showed the top tools that I grab. There's only about 6 of them. Just the most grabbed tools ever. Must have tools as an electrician, probably. Must have most used tools. It's pretty good. Most used must have tools. That's pretty good. Most used must have tools. I refuse to troll in my anything. I don't want to leave anything to question. I don't want to be intrigued to click. I want you to click it because you know what it is. I do everything wrong on YouTube. I don't even put a freaking description. Yep. Thanks for hiding that message. Should I just put we're going to test that on the thumbnail too? We're going to test that. I forgot to add that. It's not too late. Let's do this. I tried to make it orange. It wouldn't go orange. Stay pink. Don't forget that we're going to test that, right? Apache, is that appropriate? We're not doing it. There you go. Very impressive. I just saw something here. I just noticed something. We still have this @ symbol in the background here. We gotta get rid of this. We actually have to get rid of this. What is that? What is that? That's gotta go too. Perfect. If this thumbnail works, I'm hanging it up. we're just gonna hang it up, man. Like what happened to Robert? His 99% people don't know thumbnail worked, and he just lost it. You know, it's going to be a problem. Yeah. All right. It's going up there. Didn't know flowers had feet. So imagine that's 2 climb pliers walking to a bar. They do when they're strippers. YouTube send the check. We got a banger. All right. All right, we got the best game-changing thumbnail around. We got the contrast of the orange. We got the contrast of the orange, and then we got the poppy red. A little bit of homage decline. It's pretty good balanced. I'm a Marine. What was my rank? I didn't serve in the military, man, but I appreciate your service. Thank you. Hats off to you. All right, we're getting out of here. Just copy whatever garbage VCG does. Yeah, there you go. E5. There you go. Thank you for your service, Russ. We'll see you guys. Take it easy. We're out of here.